Hi everyone, this is Sean and Alex
Hello.
with the MySMARTblog support team, and in this video we're going to be walking you through the back end and how to update and change some things that you might want to on your site, specifically for what we have here, which is the big picture theme. So the first thing we're going to show you is how to log into your site. So you should have received an email with your login info from us. It should have been the same email that sent you the link to get to this video. So if you have not received your login for your site yet, please email us and let us know, and we'll make sure to get that over to you so you can log into your site. So once you have that login, just go to the home page of your site here, and up top at your domain, you're just going to add something onto the end of it that's going to take you to a login screen. And we'll make sure to send you this link as well so you can always save it and get right back to your login screen if you need to. So we're here at our domain, and we're just going to add a /WP, which stands for WordPress, -admin. So we're just going to add that /WP-admin onto our domain and hit enter. And then here we're going to be on the login screen. So this is where you would put in your information, your username and your password that you got from us, and then click login. So now that we've logged into the site, we're going to see this page. This is the main screen you'll see anytime you log into your site. This is what WordPress calls the dashboard. It's kind of the home screen for the back end of your site. And you'll notice over here on the left side we have our menu. This is kind of our navigation menu for anything in the back end that we're going to need to do. So I'm gonna go over some of these things over here on the side, and I'm just going to kind of work my way down. I'm going to hit all the main things. There's lots of stuff in here that you can take a look at. There's lots that I'm not going to go over. There's tons of options in WordPress, things you can do, and I'll show you some of those things, the most important things you might need to update with your site. The first thing I'm going to show you that we're going to look at is up here at the very top. You'll see there's this section called SmartBlog User Manual. You'll see for some of these items on the menu over here, there are pop-out menus. I'm just going to go ahead and click on the main title there, where it says SmartBlog User Manual.
And this is basically a collection of videos to help you if you run into something in WordPress that you don't know how to do, you get a little lost. This is a great little section for you to go take a look, and see if there's a video on what you're trying to do. Likely there is, so this can help you just deal with some of those small tasks.
Yeah, and we have tons of videos in here. So if you look, each section has a title up top. So if we kind of scroll down here, like for example, these ones are about pages. So these 3 video clips here are all about pages, and then under each video you'll see kind of a more detailed description of what that video is specifically about. So we've broken them down to very specific categories, so they're all only 2 or 3 minute videos and kind of just cover exactly what they say underneath them. So a lot of this stuff I'll be going over in this video, and like I said, there's tons of other stuff in here for you. So this is a good place to take a look if you're trying to remember how to do something, or like I said, there's many things in here that you can learn or teach yourself in WordPress. So again, that's just at the very top under SmartBlog User Manual are those videos. The next section we'll take a look at, I'm going to go down here to Posts. So I'm going to click on Posts.
And post is basically all of those wonderful posts that we post on your website every week. That's what these all are. So all of those different blog posts that you see, basically Monday through Friday, are all coming in through here.
Yeah, and like Sean said, if you look over here at the date on each one, you can see what date those were posted. So like you said, they're Monday through Friday, so you should get about 5 a week. The most recent one is always going to be up here at the top. So again, if you look over at this date field over here, you'll see 10 hours ago, that was today's post, and then so on. So you can find the post that way if you need to.
And those posts, again, come through Monday through Friday around 7:45 a.m. Central Time in the morning. If it is a federal holiday, then we don't do posts there because we want to make sure someone's here to take any questions or calls that you guys might have. But you should see those every day, and you typically should get an email also just confirming that that's gone through. If you do get an email that says there was an error, a lot of the times there's a link there to republish that, and you can click that. If that still doesn't work, drop us a line and we're happy to take care of it.
And with these posts, we encourage all of our customers to go in and update them any way they want. So once these posts have been published to your site, they're yours to do whatever you want with. So like I said, we encourage our customers to go in there and add some of their own information. If there's a topic that you feel like you have something to say something about, and you can add a paragraph in there, or you want to add some extra images or maybe share a video with it. Those are all great things to add to posts. And another great thing is, if you want a certain post, you want to go in and add some of your local information, kind of tie it back to the local area where you do business, and you have something to say about that. That's always a great thing to add to a post as well.
Yeah, we usually love to say that to help your system perform better, you adding a bit of local information and I always call it a bit of you into that post always really helps. And the bit of you meaning just either your comments, your thoughts, any of that kind of stuff. Even just as simple as hey, if you need anything, give me a call. Here's my phone number at the bottom of the post. Those kind of things really can help you, generate leads, and helps the readability for your customers, so they feel more like they're talking to you instead of a little bit of a vague person.
Exactly. So, like I said, for example, if we wanted to go in and we wanted to edit today's post, here at the top again, 10 hours ago, this is today's. So say we want to go in and we want to add something to this post. You'll see this is the title of the post over here, and when I hover over it, you have some other options. For example, if you wanted to remove a post from your site, all you need to do is click that trash button under the specific post. But say I want to open this one up, I'm just going to click on the title. So this is going to open today's post up this is kind of the standard WordPress editor. A lot of the things we'll be showing you in this video uses this same editor. So posts, editing and adding pages, and same with testimonials, they all use the same editor, so you'll get very used to it after a while. But you'll see here we have the title of the post up at the very top, and then down here in this main area is where we have the content, the full post with the images as well. So it's similar to any standard Word editor, Microsoft Word or whatever you might use. You have all the same kind of tools you would up here on this toolbar as far as editing the text. Any changes you need to make, you just type right in here if you want to add some text to it. Again, you have your toolbar up here. There's a few other things we can do. For example, if we wanted to add some more pictures to a post, or we were creating our own post we wanted to add images to. To add images, you'll see there's this Add Media button up here above the toolbar. If I click on that, it's going to open up this screen, and we kind of have two main tabs here. The first tab is this Upload Files tab. So obviously this is where you would select the files from your computer that you wanted to add. Once you have them selected, down here at the bottom you just click Insert into Post, and it's going to drop them in there for you. The other tab we have is your media library. So this is your media library that is associated with your site in particular. So this would be where you would find any images that you've previously used on your site. So if there's something you want to use again, you could just grab it from here and insert into the post as well. So anything you ever upload to your site at one point or another is always going to be saved in your media library. So it makes it very easy to use again if you need to. So that's how we would add an image to the post. Another thing we might want to do with the post, which is very easy to do, is add a YouTube video. So whether it's a YouTube video that you have on your own channel, or one that you just want to share, or someone you work with, you want to share their video, YouTube videos are very easy to share in your posts, as well as add to pages on your site. So if we look up here on the toolbar again, you'll see there is this YouTube button along the toolbar. If I click on that, it's very simple. All you need to do is drop the link into this field here. So the link of the video. So when you're on the video page on YouTube, just grab the URL and drop it in that field there. And then all you need to do is hit OK. You don't have to worry about any of that sharing code, the embed code that YouTube gives you. All you need is the link. You just hit OK. WordPress takes care of the rest, and you'll see it once you drop it into the post. You'll see the little YouTube tags, and you'll know that that's the video, but it takes care of all the code for you.
Another cool thing to note about adding video or any post to your site is that when you do that, since likely you have our social media syndication set up, any of those things that you're adding are also being shared on social media that we have set up. So, if you're adding a post in here about, let's say, an open house or something of that nature, whatever that is, you're now going to then have that post shared on your social media as well. Again, it'll work like all the other articles do. People can click on it from the social media and come back to your website. Same thing with videos from YouTube here. When you're adding those, then that post will end up going there as well. It's a good idea when you're adding the YouTube to just at least have some text on there that describes maybe what the video is or something like that, and you know, make sure that the title on the top here is appropriate. But other than that, it's you know, something that we encourage you to do. The more you do that, and the more you that comes through the site, the likely more successful it will be. And I don't remember if we talked about it, Alex, but up here, if you're adding your own post, I think you'll show them that in a minute here, though. But this is the title of the post. This is something you can change. If for some reason you don't love the way it's worded and you'd like to change that, feel free to change that. That's okay. The one thing is this particular thing it's in yellow. On any of the posts that we deliver to you or any post that you have published already, I would suggest against changing that. That's the link of where that page lives, and so if it's already been published to your social media and then you change it, then that link will end up being broken. So we typically suggest you not change these on things that have already been published.
Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the main post screen, and we're going to go to where we add a new post, and I'll show you guys a few different things there. So again, I'm just going to go back to the main post screen by clicking on that post section.
Yeah, I was jumping ahead there.
No worries. So here we are back at the main post screen. So that was how to edit an existing post. So, you know, I clicked on that first one up there. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to add a new one. Very similar. The only, you know, it's up here at the top. You click that add new button. You'll see over here on the left there's an add new button there as well. It doesn't matter which one you click on. I'm going to go ahead and click this one up here. And again, it's going to take us back to that same standard WordPress editor, the same editor we were just in, but now obviously everything's empty for us to fill in. So like Sean was mentioning, the title of your post would go up here, and then down here is the main body of your post, all the content, all the images, the video, whatever you want to share down there. So same thing as before, you know, add images is that add media button, YouTube videos, you can use that YouTube button there on the toolbar. And then there's a few other things we'll show you. So over here on the right, you'll see this little published section here, this save draft button. If you're working on a post and you know something comes up, you don't have time to finish it, you need to take a break and come back and work on it again later, you need to get some better images you want to use for it, whatever it might be. If I click this blue publish button, the post is going to go live to my site and all my social media accounts as well. If I want to save something and come back and work on it later, I can always click the save draft button here. And it's gonna, on that main post screen we were just on, you'll see the post there and it's gonna say draft. It'll have a little draft tag next to it so you know that it hasn't been published. So if you ever need to take a break, come back, work on something later, you can always save it as a draft and come back and work on a post before it's live, before you actually publish it. And then another thing to show, you'll see where it says publish immediately here. So like I just said, right now if I wrote a post and I click this publish button, it's going to go live to my site and it's going to go out to all those social media accounts as well. So a cool feature here is if you click that edit button next to where it says publish immediately, it'll drop this section down, and you'll see here we can set the date and the time. So a great way to use this would be if there's a post, you know, say you had time to write a post right now but you want it to go out tomorrow, or you want to sit down and you want to write one post a week and you want to write all 4 for the whole month. You could sit down, write them all, and then using this section here you could set the date and the time of the post to be published. So for example, I could sit down, write the post and say I want it to go out over the weekend. Then I'll set it for whatever date I want to go out, hit OK, and then now when I hit publish, the site's actually going to hold on to that post until that date rolls around and then publish it to the site. So it's a way to schedule your posts. So if you had time to write a few and you wanted to sit down and do them, then you can schedule them out that way if you wanted. And then the last thing to show you guys with posts is this category section down here. So you see under this category section, there's a bunch of categories under here. Your site will not have this many. This is kind of a demo site, so we have some extra ones in here. But you'll see all these categories with the little check boxes next to them. Your site should have, you know, anywhere from 10 to 15. We tried it. These are all categories that we associate with our automatic posts that come to your site. So we, like I said, we try to use the same 10 or 15. and we have at least one selected with the post. That way, if someone's on your site and they want to look up a certain topic, all the posts are tagged with the topic so they can do that. So when you're making your own post, it's a good idea to look in here and at least select one of these that best fits your post. That way, like I said, it's easier for you to find later. It's easier for someone on your site to find. And then again, if there's not one in here that fits your post, or you want to make your own category, like a video category, you can always add your own down there.
Another thing too, kind of along those same lines, after categories, you'll see just a little bit below that is another thing called tags. Tags is basically a similar thing, but a way for you to just tag an article. The difference really is in categories, typically you probably want to do, one category per post. That's more typical. You can do extras, but I'd probably suggest one. But tags you can go crazy with. And tags can be anything. So you can set it, we typically suggest that, you try to keep them consistent. So let's say you just, added housing. So you can do that, and what it's going to do is actually pull up all the other tags that you have done in the past to try to help you match one that's already in the system. So that's one good thing. So you can try to make sure you're doing it the correct way. Once you add a tag, then you're going to see it down here below. If you realize that you didn't do it right or you don't want to, you can just remove it, and it's no big deal. But that's another great way also. A lot of the times at the bottom of the post, you'll see that information. You can go click on that and then see all the other articles also clicked as tagged, or tagged in that same manner. So
cool. Anything else? I think we covered everything we need to with posts.
Oh, one quick thing would be, so we talked a little bit the time before about this bar that was right here that had some yellow text on it, and right now you don't see it. And what's going to happen is, so let's just get one ready here. This is a test post. If I can spell that correctly, there we go. So once I've added that, then all of a sudden it creates one. And what this is just based off the category. So right now it's an uncategorized post, so that's not necessarily what we wanted. Let's say it's Happy Thanksgiving. It should end up updating that in a minute.
Once you publish it.
Yeah, once or save draft. But it ends up updating that. But there you go. So Happy Thanksgiving. This is the test post. So it'll have the main category, and that's kind of how it lives on your site, as well as kind of a web link version of this title. You can, if you're doing your own, if you want to set a URL specific, you can edit this, and you can just do something like test. If you want to. There's very little reason that you would probably want to do this, but I just want you to know what that is because it's sitting right there in front and it's highlighted. So we don't want you to kind of wonder and start changing things and then find out you've now broken all the social media links. So like I said, don't change that unless you have yet to publish. But once you publish, I wouldn't change it unless you want to. Then you have to go in and try to delete all the different social media things that are associated with that, because the links will be broken, and that'll be a pain. So just kind of a side note there.
Okay. So next, the next thing we're going to look at is our form entries. So if you notice down here, there is a section called forms, and if we hover over it, this is a time when we do just want to use the sub menu here, and we're just going to go to the entries section. So I'm going to click on, I went to forms and I'm going to click on entries. So if we open up the front end of the site, everyone's site should have some variation of a contact form on it. So for example, here we have this let's keep in touch form with a name, email address, phone number, and a message. Like I said, everyone should have a variation of this, as well as one on the contact page as well. So when these forms are filled out, you will get an email notification that gives you all the information that was filled out, but then they're also saved in your site as well. So any entries into these forms are saved within the site, and they're always there if you need to go back and look at them. So back to our dashboard here, and again I went to forms and I clicked on the entries section. So you see we are here, if you look up at the top, it says form name. This is our apply now form, which I believe is not the one we're using on the front end of the site. We have a few different ones here. Over on the right side, you'll see where it says switch form. So depending on how many forms you have, you might have a lot. We can check a specific form. So if I click send us a message, you'll see this is the one on the front end. I actually have two test entries into this form here. But this form now, if we look up at the top, we're under that send us a message form, which is that one that is on our sidebar. So you'll see here it shows you the name, the email address, the phone number, whatever message was entered. If you have multiple entries, it just lists them out the way it is now with these two. And then if I wanted to open a specific entry, I can just click on the name and it'll open up that entry for me. So now I've selected the specific entry, and you'll see again it shows you all the information. And then another cool thing here is you have a notes field. So these are purely internal notes if you wanted to make a note of when to follow up with someone, or if you have a scheduled call with someone, or someone you've already followed up with. So again, that's where to check those form entries, any of those form entries in your site, just under forms and then that entries section. So after that, we're going to go down to pages, the next section here, pages. So I'm just going to click on pages there. And that's going to take us to our main pages screen. So again, if we go back to the front end of the site, for example, these are all, these aren't all the pages we have on our site. These are all the pages we have linked to the navigation menu. It's possible to create pages on your site, and you don't have to put them on this menu up here. If you just want to create a page that you want to give out the link to it and share with people, you can do that. So these are just the pages we have linked to the menu up here. For example, the About page. So say you wanted to go in and you wanted to edit your About page, your bio or your team page, whatever it is. So I'm going to go back to our pages screen here. And you'll see these are all the pages we have on the site. Like I said, there's many more in here than we actually have listed on the front end of the site. But they're all alphabetical. So our About page here is this About Sean page. And it's up there at the very top. So again, if I want to edit this page, I'm just going to click on the title. And this brings us to, again, that same WordPress editor that we saw on posts. So same thing as before. The title of the page is up here. Feel free to change that if you need to. Again, if you need to add pictures, add media, the same deal there. YouTube videos works the same way. If you need to add a YouTube video to a page, you just drop the link in there. All the same functionality as before, along with everything else on that toolbar up there. So again, any changes we need to make, just do it right in here. You can type directly into this, and then when we're done, we want to hit update just to save all of our changes. So that's how to edit an existing page. I'm going to go back to pages now. And say we want to add our own page. We have our own page that we want to create and we want to add to this menu bar up here. So again, there's an add new button over here on the left side, and then there's one at the very top next to pages. So I'm going to click that one.
And so these adding new pages can be good for, especially if you're trying to add some more additional local information. Let's say you want to add, a page about city resources or something on a city near you, and talk about that city and what the great parts are about the city and how the education and those kind of things are. Or maybe you want to talk about loan products, depending upon what you're offering and what you have available. These are great ways to add that additional information, and it's something that people can see all the time on your site. Whereas posts are one that, if I've added one today, 2 months from now, it's not going to, it'll still be on my site, but it'll be 2 months ago, and it'll be harder for people to find it because it's so old. So that's the kind of main difference between the two.
So if we want to create our own page here, again, the title is going to go up here at the top. So I'm just going to call it test page, and then I'll type something here. This is a test page. So let's say this is the page we want to create. Again, you have a save draft option up here. It's not as critical with pages because, like I said, if we publish the page, it's not going to be listed anywhere on the site. Once you publish a page, the second step is to kind of go in and you have to add it to that navigation menu at the top if it's something you want. So if I publish now, the only way someone could get to this page is if I actually shared the link with them. So saving a draft isn't as critical as with posts. So I'm going to go ahead and hit publish. So up here it says page published. You can view the page there. I'm going to go back to pages here, to our main page screen. and we'll just take a look. I think up here I can search pages. I don't have to go through all the different.
Yeah, and if you have a ton of pages, this is a great
page.
way to be able to find it. You can just probably type in test. But this is just an easier way, you know, let's say you've added 20, 30, 40, 100, I don't know, we've had some clients do that. And you're trying to look for a specific page. That's a great way to be able to find it.
Yeah. So you see here, just to show, the page is created. It is here under our pages list 1 minute ago, so it is published. If we go back to the front end of the site, I'm going to go to the home page, I'll refresh it. You'll see that that test page isn't up here on the menu. So this is what I was saying before. The page is created, but the second step is to go and add it to that navigation menu. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to go back to our dashboard here. And so now that that page is created, I'm going to go down here to the section Appearance. And then under that, I want to go to the Menus section of that. So Appearance and Menus. So here, this vertical structure here, this is our navigation menu. So you see About, Blog, Info, Home Gallery, Listings. This is all the same, in the same order as we see it up here, the navigation menu for the site. So each one of these sections is the actual page link.
You'll also see that, like under info, there's some sub items here as well. And so that would be, you know, like back on here, if you go here under info, there's actually 2 different pages. So that's why you're seeing some of those that are just moved out to the side a little bit.
So over here on the left, this pages section, I'm going to click View All just to make it easier to find. These are all the pages that we have created. So I want to find...
Although if you've recently added it, most recent sometimes.
That's true. So yeah,
but that's not always the case.
It is right up there at the top at most recent, but if you need to find anything else, View All, you know, we'll show you all the
There's
pages.
also a search box as well, in case, again, you're one of those people who've added a few hundred.
Yeah. So again, up at the very top under most recent is our test page. This is the one we just created. So I'm just going to check that I want to add that one. And down here, I'm going to click Add to Menu. So I clicked Add to Menu. You'll see it brings it down. It drops it down at the very end by default. And then to rearrange anything on your menu. So as it is right now, this test page would come right after Contact. It would be the last one on here. So to rearrange them, all I need to do is grab them and hold down my mouse, and then I can pull them around and drop them anywhere I want. So for example, if I wanted it to be right after the About page, I'm going to let go of it right there. And then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to hit Save Menu. Wait for that to save. We'll go back to the front end and refresh. And then you'll see here, the menu kind of got weird. I'll get into that in a second. But you'll see test page came right after About. So there it is. That's right where we put it. So the reason the menu kind of doubled up here is that we actually ran out of room on our navigation menu. The menu only goes to About right here. So test page, maybe if I had just put test, it would fit. So that's something you can play around with. So if you notice this happening on your site, it's because what you have up here, the words are too long. There's too much text up here. So there's a few ways to fix that. Like I said, I can try putting in test and just see if test works, and then that might bring everything back up on one line. But another thing to do, which is much easier, is to just try to categorize your pages a little better. And like Sean was shown before, this info tab here brings down a drop down. So we could make another tab like that and have test page as like a sub option under there. So if your menu ever goes onto 2 lines like this, just know that it's because of the text up here, and you might need to rearrange how things are laid out up here.
One other side note is specifically with this theme, this is, I just lost the word. It's a responsive theme. Thank you. So with these responsive themes, we've probably already talked to you about this, but these themes kind of resize depending upon the size of the screen or the device that you're looking at it. So sometimes you will see on your computer everything looks fine and you do not have 2 bars, but maybe you look at it on a tablet you're using it in kind of a landscape mode and you do see multiple things. But it's one of those things where it's trying to respond and react to the different environment that it gets. So, you know, you could turn your tablet to the side and go more in a page view, and then you'll see a completely different menu sometimes. On a phone, it'll look even more different. It'll end up being kind of expandable navigation at the top with like the 3 little bars. So just as a side note, that's one of the things with this theme and with our responsive themes is that they do kind of adjust and try to change to the environment that they're in. So, if you happen to notice that on one computer but don't see it on another, that's why you're seeing that. And you're not crazy. It actually is changing.
Okay. And then the last thing we'll show real quick is, so say we wanted to take that test page and we wanted to condense our menu a little bit. I'm going to grab that and say we want to put it with these other ones under info. Like Sean was saying, those ones there are indented. So you see if I leave it there, now it actually comes after info in the order. But now if I pull it into the right, it'll indent it for me. And now if I let go, it is one of those sub items under an info tab. So again, we'll just save it and we'll take a look at that real quick. So now if I refresh, that test page should be under the info tab. So you see the menu went back up onto one line, and then under info, there's our test page there now.
And one side note with this too, not that we're necessarily suggesting this, but I want you to be aware of it. You can also do stuff like this. I mean, you can end up adding more pages and do a sub-item of a sub-item of a sub-item. And what'll happen, just so you kind of see that, it ends up getting very confusing. So that's why I say I don't necessarily suggest it. Oh, I got to refresh here. But as you would expect, it ends up nesting. So under there, and then I can nest under this one, and then there's one, and you can keep going. It becomes a real challenge for people, one, to even select those pages, and two, to understand what's going on. But just in case you did for some reason want to go into a tertiary scenario like this, that's about the limit of it. Once you get past that, I would say don't do it. It's really bad form. But just in case you're flipping around and add it there and then go, oh yeah, it's a sub item. You want to make sure that they're on the same level if you're trying to get them together.
And then the last thing here would be to remove a page. So say we want to remove that test page from the menu altogether. You'll see on each page there's this arrow over on the right side. If I click that, it's going to expand that section for me. And then another option under pages that is usually good, if you're linking to a page that goes off your site, say you have 2 sites and you're linking back to a page on, say, your company site from this site. Usually if you're linking to a site that is actually leaving the site that the user is currently on, you want to try and open it in a new tab just so they don't get confused. It's not that, that way they can look at the page they've opened, and then when they want to go back to your site, they still have it open in a new tab or a new window.
And with that point, let's actually show you real quick how to add a link to a different site. So basically there's, over here, you see all these different kinds, but what you can do is add, you can add a link. I think you have to type in something. So here, let's just, google.com, there you go. Add to menu. So now here we've added that, and let's actually go ahead and do what he talked about, and let's remove this guy.
Yep, just click that remove button.
And now here we see a menu item. So this one is Google, and you'll want to change the label of it. But if you end up going to that and you want to go to another page on a different site, you almost always want to open link in a new tab, or people will go to that, click it, and like you said, they'll get lost and they won't figure out sometimes how to even get back. So exactly. So we can save that menu, and just kind of so you see that. Again, it'll break the navigation, I think, but
might not. Oh, that one fit.
But then you have this thing, and then when I click on this, it just opens up Google in another tab, as you see at the very top here. I can close that page and I'm back on the site. So that's helpful in case you have some other resources or something like that you do want to add, especially if you want to add them from a temporary standpoint and remove them later. You're always free to do that. You don't need to call us, although we're happy to help you. But it's very simple for you to keep this updated and add content as you need to.
Yeah. Good. Okay. So the last thing to cover here is going to be testimonials. So if that's something we've added for you or not, you always have the option to go in here and update those and get some added yourself. So if you have any reviews that you want to put on the site, some that you have that aren't on like a Zillow or a review site somewhere that you actually want to include on the site here, if you look back at the front end of our site that we have up, we do have a testimonials tab. So if I click that, you'll see we have all these testimonials in here. And just to show, you can put images with them. We have some videos down here as well. But you see it arranges them for you. It kind of breaks them up so you see where each one begins and ends. And then each one kind of has a title, which is like a sentence that you really want to stand out from that testimonial. So if we go back to our dashboard here, you'll see we do have a testimonial section on the menu. So if I click on that, that'll take us to our main testimonials page here. You'll see these are all the testimonials that I just showed you on that page. So you can open a specific one, same way we open pages or posts, but all those testimonials here are just these ones, all broken up. So again, if you wanted to edit one, you can click on it and open it. It's going to open it in that same editor as we saw with pages and posts. Same kind of thing. You can add images, you can add video, but more importantly, if you want to add your own, again, there's an add new testimonial here. There's one up here, and it's going to take us to that same editor. Again, the title up here, usually what we do, like for example on ours, is we'll pick a sentence from the testimonial we really want to stand out. It can just be a snippet of the sentence or however you want to do it, but these sections are the titles for those testimonials. So that goes up there, and then the full testimonial, the full review would go down here in this bottom section. And again, same thing as with pages or posts, just hit publish. Once you hit publish, it's going to be pulled into your testimonials page automatically. You don't have to worry about, there's no second step. As soon as you hit publish, it's there on that testimonials page. So the only other thing to be aware of is if we haven't added a testimonial for you on your site and you need to get started, say you don't have a testimonials, you don't have any added, you don't have a testimonials tab on your site. Again, under appearance and menus, there is already a testimonials page created with everyone's site. You don't need to go to pages at all for anything about testimonials. There is a testimonials page there, but it's blank. The way the site works is it actually uses this testimonial section here. That's how you add them, and then it automatically pulls them onto the page for you. So you don't need to worry about the physical page there on the pages section. So if you have just added a testimonial, your first one, or you want to get that testimonials link added to your navigation menu up here, same thing. Let's go to view all.
Probably page 2.
Page 2. And you'll see testimonials. Everyone will already have a testimonials page here. So once you've added at least one, then you can go in, select it, and add it to your menu so that it's actually linked on your menu and people can get to those testimonials. Well, I think that covers everything. The most important things you might need to edit and update on your site. Like I said, there's lots more in here that you can play around with and look through. And as I mentioned when we first started, that SmartBlog user manual section is going to have tons of videos, lots of stuff I covered and lots of stuff I didn't cover. So take a look around in there. There might be other things to learn about in that section as well.
Yeah, and if you need anything, just let us know. I mean, we're here to help and happy to try to take care of whatever you need. So.
Exactly. So like Sean said, if you need anything from us or if you need that login information, you do not have the login information for your site, please send us an email. For MySmartblog customers, just send an email at support@mysmartblog.com, and we'll let us know if you need help with the site or how to do something or you have questions, or like I said, if you need that login info, we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you.